16-97, State versus Jessica Clark, breaking or entering and theft. 16-27, residential burglary, theft.
There are no issues on Ms. Clark on either pretrial. She has another reappearance in front of this court in 2 weeks for a plea deadline. Your Honor, I would like to request to Ms. Clark to address the issue of bond also with her before she's excused.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, Ms. Clark is in jail because her bond has been revoked on a failure to appear. In fact, I think the file may reflect there may be 2 failure to appears. She's been in our jail since late January, and I would request the court to set a reasonable bond on behalf of Ms. Clark. Ms. Clark does have a residence that she can reside in. That is with her grandmother, Joyce Clark, who lives at 273 County Road 249 in Jordan, Arkansas.
Okay. I guess the question is why did you not appear?
Your Honor, what she has told me is that she never left this area, but that
But I'm
she
talking about
was.
in court. Why didn't you?
I think the answer, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, is that she was scared.
Judge, she's been gone for 7 months. We finally arrested her. She's been in jail for 30 days. There's been an alias warrant out for this lady since June 30th of last year.
I set it at $15,000 cash. I mean, these are serious charges. To be gone for 7 months. My God.
Thank you, Your Honor.
17-117, State versus Charles Hodges, possession of methamphetamine with purpose to deliver and drug paraphernalia. Want the public defender to represent you, sir. Looks like you're appearing for an arraignment.
Judge, will waive reading of the information and enter a plea of not guilty. We'd ask the court to consider a $2,500 bond in this matter. It's a possession case of the allegation. And I don't believe the state objects to that, Judge.
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, $2,500 bond. His next appearance will be May 25th, 10 o'clock for a pretrial. 16-331, State versus Danny Messick, aggravated assault.
Judge, Mr. Messick is here. I believe an FTA was issued on February 16th.
Right.
I've spoken to his bondsman, and at this point in time, they aren't willing to stay on the bond. We'll leave it as scheduled, and I'll get with Mr. Chisholm, and hopefully we can resolve it. If not, the trial's relatively soon.
Why wasn't he here?
Judge, I believe he's had some living situation issues.
Yes,
and
sir. I've been trying to get a house and trying to get up on my feet because I got incarcerated. I lost everything. Lost my wife, and I've just nosedived and just haven't been able to get up on my feet quite yet. I'm trying to get out of trouble, and I'm not one to stay in trouble.
Leave it as scheduled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
16-247, Chris Gladney, failure to register.
Judge, I believe this matter is scheduled for hearing today on Mr. Gladney's revocation. When we begin hearings, I will speak to him about the state's offer. Otherwise, we'll proceed.
Very well. State versus Brett Cheddar, possession of drug paraphernalia, 16-242, 16-231, residential burglary and theft.
Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Cheddar, and he was previously arraigned, but I believe that the state will amend this to a petition for contempt, and he'll enter a plea of true to that and be sentenced to 89 days in the county jail with credit for what he's done.
How many?
I'm sorry,
80 what?
89 days.
Mr. Cheddar, while on probation, did you fail to report as required?
Yes, sir.
This time, sir, I'll hold you in contempt of court in each case, sentence you to 89 days in the county jail.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
14-179, State versus Matthew Galloway, possession of methamphetamine. Was the original charge.
Judge, in Mr. Galloway's matter, he's been arraigned already in this. We're going to agree to continue the matter for 60 days for review at that time, and the state's agreed to an OR bond at this point.
They continued on the defense motion to May 11th, 60-day hearing requirement waived, 10 o'clock on May 11th, maybe OR.
Thank you, Your Honor.
$16,425, State versus Shelby Chevalier, possession of controlled substance with the purpose to deliver methamphetamine, paraphernalia, maintaining a drug premise. 16,406, paraphernalia. 16,373, marijuana, paraphernalia.
Your Honor, we're here today for the issue of pretrial. Reviewed the files. I was missing discovery in one of the files. We've agreed to continue this at least 30 days so we can have some time to get the discovery. So your dad's here.
Yes. He's here. And I've been here 65 days.
Here on March 16th.
We'd like to be heard on the issue of bond, Your Honor, if we could address that.
Okay.
Don't believe there's a bond set in this case.
Which one? And none of
I don't think in any of them.
them? Looks like for 16,406 was $2,500.
Been at 65
Let's
days.
see.
65 days. And my ultimate
16,373 was 20,000. And 16,425 is,
30,000.
okay.
I mean,
Your Honor, she's bonded out before. I believe she was revoked on that.
She's bonded out twice before. This, she's been on an ankle monitor. This lady
I
was
can continue the ankle
first
monitor.
arrested on December the 7th. She bonded out of jail on a $30,000 bond. Then she was arrested shortly thereafter, was bonded out of jail. Before that, she's been bonded out of jail November the 3rd. She finally got an ankle monitor. We've arrested her. Judge, the truth is we continue to allow her to bond out of jail, and she continues to be arrested. There is no reason why I would think that if we set this lady's bond at anything lower than, I think her bond ought to be increased. It was at $55,000. I think it ought to be $75,000. There's no reason for this court to believe, or anyone else, that if this lady bonds out of jail, she's not going to continue. We're just going to go arrest her again, and frankly, we got better things to do than to just keep arresting this lady every 2 weeks.
Your Honor, we would stay on an ankle monitor and do house arrest if that would please the court. I don't believe Ms. Chevalier's missed any court dates.
Drug tests.
Your Honor,
Yes.
we've tried an ankle monitor. I have no problem with that, with an ankle monitor. I just want her bond to be about $75,000, because it seems to me, again, I think this lady's paying $50 and getting out of jail, and there's no impact on her to keep from committing another crime. It hasn't happened.
I believe.
Well,
I'd like her bond set at $75,000 with an ankle monitor.
I'm looking at, I don't see where there's, in which case was the bond revoked? I guess the question is, why is she incarcerated right?
I don't think her bond was revoked.
Okay, why is she incarcerated right now?
It's a $20,000 bond, a $30,000 bond, and a
I'm incarcerated because my bond got revoked.
I know. He'll figure it out.
Why is she incarcerated right now?
Because her bond was revoked, Your Honor, I believe.
You have that document, it must not have made it to the file.
I failed the drug test.
So you felt it, okay.
Yeah, but I only got a week to do it, and so it was still in my system.
Yeah.
If we may approach, Your Honor.
Get back to your case, bud. We should figure out what's going on. 12-90, State versus Demetrius Gould, battery in the second degree. Okay, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir,
Yes, sir.
and he needs to be arraigned.
Complete not true, Judge, to the allegations.
We'll enter a plea of not true.
I've discussed it with the state, and I believe a bond of $5,000 cash is what's being requested. Mr. Cooper will be working on helping him with that, and it's, I believe, a Division 4 case.
Okay. I actually signed the, looks like I signed the judgment. I think it stays here under our rules. But anyway, we'll set it for hearing on March 16th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
17-111, Cynthia Pyatt, possession of drug paraphernalia, marijuana, methamphetamine with purpose to deliver.
Your Honor, I'm standing in for Justin Downham today. Ms. Pyatt is here. I believe she is outside at the moment. I believe Mr. Brown stepped out to get her.
Here for arraignment.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
How does she plead?
We will waive formal reading of the arraignment and plead not guilty, Your Honor.
Very well. Her next appearance will be May 25th at 10 o'clock for a pretrial.
May 25th, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, there's been an order to revoke this young lady's bond. That'll need to be served on her.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. We would also request to be heard on the bond revocation.
Let me see the file. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to recall it. I need to look at whatever affidavit that was based on.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
17-109, State versus Christopher Hackley, aggravated assault and endangering the welfare of a minor.
I represent Mr. Packley privately. He's here for his first appearance today.
Okay, how does he plead?
Your Honor, he enters a plea of not guilty.
We'll enter that plea of not guilty. His next appearance will be on May 25th at 10 o'clock for a pretrial.
Your Honor, does the file reflect that there is a no contact order that was entered as a condition of his release?
Well, I don't see one, but we'll enter one.
Your Honor, I would like, if there is a no contact order, he has lived with a lady who is here in the courtroom today named Erin Hosford. They've lived together for 7 years. They have a child together. He would like to return home. Ms. Hosford would like for him to return home. And she will tell the court that if the court wants to inquire of her.
Well, if this is true, I'm not sure why she'd want him back in the house, but what's the state's position?
Your Honor, I know this gentleman's charged with choking that woman, throwing her to the floor, and then taking a firearm and shooting up in the air. I don't want her around. I don't want him around this person. This man doesn't know what firearms are for.
Your Honor, if Ms. Hosford is here and she wants him back in the home so he can be with their child, they actually have another child that is not his, but he is raising, so there's actually 2 children in the home, then I see no reason why he should not be allowed to go back home.
Well, somebody might get killed here. Would be a pretty good reason.
Well, Your Honor, I have talked to him and I've talked to Ms. Hosford, and I've told them that that certainly if the court allows him to go back home, that the court would expect better behavior than what's occurred.
I don't think so right now. I might change my mind later, but that's fairly outrageous. I mean, can't just go, if he did it, shooting guns in the house and threatening and choking people. Has to be some order, I would think. Seventeen 106 State versus Cassie Cleland. Possession of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, shoplifting. And do you have a lawyer?
No, I don't. I thought I had a public defender, but
Step up a little closer, to that microphone.
I thought I had a public defender, but I guess
Did you fill out an application?
no, I didn't know if I
Okay,
had
that-
one before, so I didn't know if I still needed to do that.
Yeah, they'd probably want a new application.
Okay.
So they'll give you one, just fill it out and we'll call your caseload. 17-105 State versus Eva York, theft by receiving. Good morning.
Hello.
Do you have a lawyer, ma'am?
I spoke with one yesterday, and he told me to enter a plea of not guilty today and get a new court date.
We'll enter the plea of not guilty. You reappear in this court on March 16th at 10 o'clock for attorney status.
Okay, thank you.
17-104 State versus Daniel Rice. Criminal attempt to commit residential burglary, criminal mischief, drug paraphernalia, public intoxication.
Your Honor, Mr. Rice has hired me privately. He's here on a first appearance.
Okay. How does he plead?
He enters a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll enter that plea of not guilty and have him appear before Judge Webb on March 23rd at 9 a.m. 17-101 State versus Caleb Waddell.
Judge, we've been appointed to represent Caleb, and this is a very new case. We are awaiting discovery in this matter.
All right.
We'll just leave it as scheduled. I'm handing him his scheduling order now, Judge.
Very well. Stay in contact with your lawyers. 17-99 State versus Scott Freud, possession of drug paraphernalia.
Your Honor, Public Defender's Office is representing Mr. Freud. I've been assigned this case. Scheduling order looks like is in place. And discovery looks like it's here also.
There you go, sir. State versus Michael Short, possession of drug paraphernalia. Possession of methamphetamine with purpose to deliver, exposing a child to methamphetamine.
Jessica Johnston. I'm with the Binka firm out of Little Rock. We are entering our appearance on this case. We'll enter a plea of not guilty, wavering in service.
Okay. We'll enter the plea of not guilty. Next appearance will be a pretrial on May 25th at 10 o'clock.
Your Honor, if I do know, I looked earlier on my calendar, and we are in a capital murder case trial that week. I know that we will not be able to make that date.
May 11th.
Thank you.
Was the bond revoked in this case?
Was, Your Honor, in order to revoke the bond in this case, needs to be heard.
Yes, we are asking to, I believe the bond was revoked in the case we already represent Mr. Short on, the 113, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well,
I don't have any knowledge of the bond being revoked in this actual case, but
Okay,
we
it's in
were
another
wanting to
case.
address the bond revocation in the 2016 case.
okay.
Mr. Short is the co-defendant of the individual earlier. I didn't know if we needed to stand aside.
All right.
Do you want me to pull that up for you, Judge?
Yes, I guess. Well, there's 2016-113, and there's another number on here, 2015-251. Is that,
Your Honor, Mr. Short was on probation in the 2015 case. To my knowledge, there's no reason for him to have had a bond on that.
okay.
But we're not on that case, so there may be something I'm not unaware of. but-
16-113.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, I tell you what, I need to get the, whatever affidavit that was,
All right, Your Honor.
the order to revoke was based on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Honor.
Thank you.
I'll have to look at it later, I guess. 17-81, State versus Randy Johnson. Possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes, sir.
You have a lawyer, sir.
No, I haven't gotten a lawyer yet. It's only been a week, and my paycheck is coming in today. Being a vet.
Reappear on March 16th at 10 o'clock for attorney status.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Seventeen 25, State versus Nathan O'Donnell. I may have mispronounced that, I'm sure.
Public Defender's Office represents the defendant, Your Honor. I believe he's here on a reappearance. There's discovery, looks like it's complete. We've just been given a plea agreement. No action to be taken today.
Is this on a scheduling order again?
It is, Your Honor. It's pretrial stage.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, sir.
State versus Dale Martin, possession of methamphetamine, 16-433.
Your Honor, Mr. Martin's still not been able to retain me. He mistakenly thought that the charges were dismissed the last time he was in court. He contacted the prosecutor's office and my office. We informed him that that was not the case, and so he voluntarily appeared today. I believe the bondsman's willing to stay on his bond.
That's agreeable, Your Honor. I can see where you might understand that.
Okay, if it's not been served, the alias warrant's withdrawn. And we'll have him reappear on March 16th for attorney status.
That'd be appropriate, Your Honor.
16-413, State versus Kevin Bussard, theft of property.
Morning.
Judge, I represent Kevin. There's no action to take today. He comes back for a plea deadline in April. We'll leave it as scheduled.
Very well. 16-411, State versus Karen Harned, possession of drug paraphernalia.
Your Honor, Ms. Harned is represented by the Public Defender's Office. This is a reappearance date, and there is no action to take in her case today.
Okay, there's a plea deadline on April 13th.
Yes, Your Honor. She is here, Judge. She just is having a...
Stay in contact with your lawyer, ma'am.
Thank you.
16-302, State versus Brandon Comstock was the drug case, and 16-145, theft and burglary.
Judge, we have long ago resolved Mr. Comstock's cases, but he's incarcerated in another county, in Lawrence County. So when we get him back here, we'll take care of that. I think you've issued an FTA previously, so there'll be a hold. But we have a resolution, it's just a matter of getting him here to take care of it.
Very well. 16-259, State versus Richard Berger, possession of methamphetamine.
Judge, I believe he was ordered to reappear in April.
All right.
We will, if we can resolve it, we'll have him set for the 23rd. Or you're not the